And thanks so much for joining us, but don't go anywhere. Lots more news and weather ahead. Here's Paula Groen with your top stories on ABC Action News at 4.
Thanks, Lauren. Happening right now on ABC Action News at 4. Going back to class, teachers in Pinellas County now learning more about what school will really look like, how they're going to deal with students who don't wear masks, and which teachers will be assigned to teach online.
Some colleges are reducing their tuition as classes go online for the fall, while even more may be feeling the pressure to do it now. And it's time to dust off those card collections, how sports cards are bringing in big money during the pandemic.
And facing mask backlash, what some Pinellas County business owners say customers are doing because they don't want to wear a mask. How you doing, Tampa Bay? Welcome here to ABC Action News at 4. I'm Paula Groen. Today, teachers in Pinellas County are now getting clarification on how COVID-19 will potentially impact the return to school. ABC Action News reporter Sarah Hollenbeck in Pinellas County right now, breaking down the new agreement just reached between school district leaders and the teachers union and what it now means for students. And speaking of back to school, just a reminder that this weekend is Florida's back to school sales tax holiday. It only runs Friday through Sunday this year. During that time, school supplies under $15, clothing under $60, and the first $1,000 worth of electronics will be tax-free, tax-exempt. We have all the details for you in the back to school section of our website, abcactionnews.com. Now to the very latest on the coronavirus numbers in Florida. While the cases stayed a bit lower, deaths are back up into the triple digits today. The Department of Health reporting 5,400 new cases and 245 new deaths. This now puts Florida's total number of cases just under 500,000 since the pandemic began. Tampa Bay claiming 894 of those new cases, and Hillsborough making up almost half of those. Pinellas County now reporting a positivity rating of 7.8%, which is one of the lowest in the area. Some good news, though. Hardee County did not have any new cases yesterday, and DeSoto County only had one. Meanwhile, Governor Ron DeSantis hosting a roundtable discussion today to talk about Florida's long-term care facilities. The governor says the state really needs to come up with some new rules that will allow family members to visit their loved ones at these facilities. The governor inviting Mary Daniel, who we first told you about. She got a part-time job at her husband's nursing home just so she could see him. Daniel says that family members need to be allowed to see each other in person and not through a window. She says that patients' mental health declines rapidly when they are kept away from their loved ones and each other. Governor DeSantis says he's now pushing to allow those with antibodies to visit people in long-term care facilities. All right, let's take it live outside. Rivergate Tower there, clouds in the background. Meteorologist Shay Ryan is checking out what we've got here. Shay?
Yeah, we've got a mixed bag for sure. We've got a little bit of a shake there on the Rivergate Tower Tampa camera. It is zoomed in pretty tight, so it's hard to say if we actually have any gusty winds moving through there at the moment. But at last check, the winds in Tampa Bay have been around 10 miles per hour or so. So again, we do have a mix of sun, clouds, and some storms out there on our radar right now. We do have some rain across parts of Hillsborough County. I think some of this is ringing itself out, though, north of I-4. And what was around St. Pete earlier this afternoon has now rung itself out. So Zephyrhills getting the very heavy rain and thunderstorms moving through there, and that will continue to move off to the northeast over the next couple of minutes or so. And you can also see very heavy pockets of rain in extreme southeastern Polk County and through Highlands County as well. And this is all moving to the east. So over the next couple of hours, we'll continue to have chances for showers and storms. Most of it is going to be to the east of I-75, and then we'll see it tapering off after sunset, and we will see hot and steamy conditions if you don't get lucky to get that rain moving through. Paul?
Shay, thank you. Now to an international story we're following very closely this afternoon, that deadly explosion in Beirut, Lebanon. Officials there on the ground say that an explosive material inside a warehouse caught on fire, causing this blast. It flipped cars, blew out windows, damaged several buildings all across the capital city. Officials say more than 50 people are dead at this hour, thousands more injured. A red cloud hung over Beirut as firefighters there worked to put out the flames. Officials say the explosive material had actually been confiscated and was being stored inside that warehouse. As we send it now to Dan Croasman with a further look at the national headlines.
Here's our first look at the news feed. The FDA has just approved emergency use of a heart pump along with an oxygen machine to treat COVID patients. This is for patients suffering from heart and lung failure. One patient who received the experimental treatment recovered without any damage to the heart. Another treatment is said to have had treated coronavirus in primates and hamsters. Regeneron Pharmaceuticals developed the antibody-drug combination. Researchers said the animal study, the monoclonal antibodies were able to almost completely prevent infection. And President Trump has signed a bill that gives $3 billion worth of funding to national parks as well as public lands. The Great American Outdoors Act focuses on conservation projects, outdoor recreation, as well as maintenance. And barbershops play an important role in the Black community, and the conversations inside are changing.
I think beyond the conversations of the racial revolution that we're in, is really like, how do people have a quality of life?
How barbers are getting involved in boosting that quality of life by addressing mental health.
And also coming up, COVID-19 in the classroom. The Bay Area School District already sending faculty home because of known exposures on campus. We'll get into that next. You're watching ABC Action News at 4. Well, as counties continue to make their back-to-school plans, one local school district is already dealing with positive COVID-19 cases. We're learning today on the first week. Manatee County teachers returned to school. An employee at Somerset Elementary tested positive for COVID-19. The school district confirmed with ABC Action News that employees who had direct contact with the confirmed case were sent home for 14 days. The district also says they closed portions of that school for disinfecting while all other employees return to work today. Heads up here for Hillsborough County parents. The county is now hosting a back-to-school health clinic this weekend. It is Saturday from 9 a.m. to 1 at Middleton High School, but because of the coronavirus, you do have to make an appointment ahead of time. So we've gone ahead and posted the link to do that at abcactionnews.com. And check this out. Two-time Super Bowl champion Logan Ryan is fostering kittens here in the Tampa Bay area. He and his wife teaming up with Friends of Strays in St. Petersburg. They took in these 4 kittens who were found under an abandoned building in Largo. They should be up for adoption late this month, we're told, or early September. Ryan, you may remember him. He played for the New England Patriots and won a couple of Super Bowls as well. All right, let's go outside. Rivergate Tower camera. It is HOT hot outside. Shay, any rain relief on the way?
There's some relief in places where they're getting showers, but not everybody is getting wet today. You can see the Rivergate Tower Tampa camera showing plenty of sunshine out there and definitely looking hazy from all of that humidity as well. So it's feeling like 100 degrees across many places. And today it seems to be more north of I-4 that is feeling like 100 degrees. South of I-4, we've had a little more rain, which has helped to bring the feels like temps down a bit. So let's go ahead and take a look at the radar. And you can see across Hillsborough County those patchy areas of rainfall north of I-4 there starting to develop. And then we've got some heavier rain around the Zephyr Hills area with a couple of thunderstorms. But we've got more widespread rain across eastern Polk County and through Highlands County. All of this rain is moving off to the east. As we continue through the next couple of hours, we'll see a few more showers and storms developing to the east of I-75. Some of that will try to pull back across the coastline before midnight tonight, and then we'll all be on the dry side overnight. Tomorrow morning, though, the onshore flow will continue to build a chance for rain along the coast in the first half of the day, and then it builds inland through the second half. And of course, as far as the tropics go, Isaias continues to race north across the northeastern states, bringing heavy rain and some storms along with it, and some gusty winds. This batch that you see there of storms in yellow, not likely to develop, or less likely today to develop than what we were looking at yesterday, but either way, not going to have any impact on our weather. And over the next 7 days, we've got no impacts from the tropics and just typical summer-like weather. Dan?
Kicking off this news feed with a recall alert. Honda is recalling more than 1.5 million minivans and SUVs. The company says it needs to fix backup camera displays, malfunctioning dashboard lights, and sliding doors. This recall affects Odysseys, Pilots, and Passports. And the Census Bureau will stop its counting efforts about a month sooner than previously announced. It will stop door knocking, collection responses online via phone and mail by September 30th. The Census Bureau says it's trying to meet its December 31st deadline. Twitter will likely need to pay millions of dollars to the FTC for allegedly mishandling users' personal information. The FTC accused Twitter of taking phone numbers, email addresses, and using the information for targeted advertising. And coronavirus cases at food processing plants are still a concern. Ashley Sampson looks at the impact this is having on the communities around these plants. There's a new group getting advice on making dating safer, how they say you should protect yourself while making connections.
Two 16-year-olds are now facing charges. Police are accusing the teens of trying to steal a car in Clearwater last night. According to police, the teens grabbed a set of keys at the Eddie C. Moore softball complex and then ran right toward the parking lot. And it just so happens that 3 Clearwater police officers were playing on the field at the time. They ran after the teenagers. The officers caught up with them. The teens are now both facing charges.
There's still no telling when we'll return to the old normal here in the United States, but that's not stopping people from dating and trying to meet new people online. With the pandemic at top of mind, most online daters are doing their part to stay safe.
Also coming up here at 4, Florida gator trappers are apparently staying very busy right now because it is mating season. The surprising places they've already found 2 gators this week. And what should you do if you encounter one? You're going to want to hear this. You're watching ABC Action News at 4.
ABC Action News, offering a flash briefing on Alexa. To add the skill, go to abcactionnews.com/Alexa, then ask,
What's the news?
Here's your flash briefing from ABC Action News in Tampa Bay.
The ABC Action News Storm Tracker, hitting the road when severe weather hits the Bay Area. Packed with one-of-a-kind cutting-edge weather technology, showing you every angle of what's coming your way, keeping you safe and informed. ABC Action News, taking action for you.
Welcome back here to ABC Action News at 4 as we head into the second half hour today. And we've got an update here from St. Petersburg Mayor Rick Kreisman. Just spoke about an hour ago, and the mayor is now encouraging anyone and everyone to go ahead and get tested, even if they're not showing symptoms. Now, the mayor also says Pinellas County's 2-week average positivity rate, one of the bright spots in Tampa Bay, now sits at about 6.79%. Relative to everyone else, they're doing pretty good. He says that St. Pete will have a mask mandate for the foreseeable future, even if that positivity rating continues to drop. Mayor Kreisman also says masks are the only thing keeping businesses from having to close down permanently. As far as bars and breweries go, which has been a hot topic in the Bay Area lately, Mayor Kreisman says he supports them reopening at 50% capacity only if patrons are forced to sit at a table or high top instead of constantly walking around. So that's the very latest out of St. Petersburg today from the mayor. Meanwhile, across the bay, the city of Tampa and Mayor Jane Castor raising a Juneteenth flag above City Hall today. This was set to happen back in June, on June 19th, which is recognized as Emancipation Day for African Americans, but that was delayed because of the pandemic. So today, the Tampa Bay Juneteenth Coalition says that August is still a fitting month for this because that was when Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. delivered his famous I Have a Dream speech back in 1963. The coalition called this a historic moment, and they hope to further educate the public about the significance of Juneteenth. Pinellas County school leaders are launching a brand new app to help make it easier for you to apply for free or reduced lunch. The paper-free application is now available on the My Schools app. It just launched this week. You'll plug in your zip code and the Pinellas County School District will pop up for you. To fill out the application, you'll need to know your household income, the birth dates of every student in your home, along with an email or phone number for the district to contact you. Let's send it out live outside here. Freedom Boat Club there. We've got just a tiny bit of breeze, Shay, to cool you off. That's not really much, is it?
No, we haven't had a lot of wind today to help keep us a little more comfortable. Plenty of heat out there, lots of humidity, and only a few showers and storms developing again this afternoon. It's more than yesterday, but still on the lower than average side, I would say. So again, let's go ahead and take a look at the radar right now, and you can see where we've got a few isolated showers and storms across the area. Some of it is in Hillsborough County, Polk County, or that would be Pinellas County has dried out now, but closer to downtown Tampa and into Orion Park and Temple Terrace, also around Valrico. We've got some heavier downpours, one in near Medulla and also north of Zephyr Hills across 301. This is all headed off to the east. So again, this is pretty hit or miss across much of the area. The only more widespread rain and storms are found across Highlands County and southeastern Polk County, which are all headed away from our area. So again, we'll be headed towards the east coast. Hot and steamy through the rest of the day unless you are lucky enough to get some rain, Dan.
A recent survey shows 93% of college students feel tuition should be reduced this semester since most classes will be held online. Students around the country have started to sign petitions demanding this. Alicia Nieves shows us which colleges have listened and what students are saying they'll do if others don't. Turning to the news feed, a new report suggests younger people have been hit harder financially by the pandemic. Millennials and Gen Z say COVID has hurt or even ruined their finances. They're reporting twice the impact compared to their parents. Home Depot is looking to speed up deliveries. The company plans to open 3 new distribution centers in Atlanta over the next 18 months. It says the goal is to keep up with customer demand as more people shop online and use curbside pickup. And the video game business is booming right now. Sony says it saw a more than 50% jump in those profits from April to June, but it's not all good news. The company says it's preparing for a years-long decline in its film projects and sales for things like TVs as well as cameras. Sports cards are having a moment amid the pandemic.
Even between then and now, between January and right now, the prices have gone up so much.
We're looking into what's driving a big increase in values for these cards.
We are taking action by answering your hurricane questions.
Storm surge is a gradual rise in water associated with a landfalling tropical system. It can lead to catastrophic flooding depending on the size, strength, forward motion of the storm, as well as the shape of the coastline. The strongest hurricane can bring a storm surge over 20 feet in height. Even a weak tropical storm can cause surge concerns.
For more information, head to abcactionnews.com/hurricane. Sponsored by Nolan's Roofing.
Proudly serving you through this storm so that you're ready for the next one.
New at 4:30, if you live in Florida, you know this to be true. Gator trappers staying busy in Southwest Florida this week because it is mating season. First, one was called out to Naples High School Monday, where this gator was trying to climb a fence, and then in Estero, just south of Fort Myers, a gator was found waiting for the elevator inside an apartment complex. Trappers say that it is mating season, so you're much more likely, of course, to see gators out and about. They say that if you do see one, a word to the wise, stay at least 30 feet away and call officials because gators are protected in Florida.
We've told you before about how half of the businesses listed on Yelp that shut down during the pandemic never plan to open again. Tomorrow, meet 2 women who defied the odds in a different situation before. They'll share why they're going to do it a second time, even though so many others can't. But still to come today, protests, elections, and COVID-19 are all leading to people buying more guns for self-defense. Why the type of person buying these guns makes training more important than ever.
These are adults. It's boggling, like mind-boggling.
Still ahead here at 4, Pinellas County business owners say they're facing backlash over masks. The extreme measures they say that angry customers are taking against them. You're watching ABC Action News at 4.
Breaking news.
We don't just tell you about the big stories.
Our crews are live on the scene after a freak accident.
We take you there live as they unfold, keeping you updated every step of the way.
Actioner 1 over the scene.
Tampa Bay's best breaking news coverage. ABC Action News, taking action for you.
It's insane. It's absolutely disturbing the way people respond.
Yeah, Dunedin business owners and employees say some of their customers have resorted to verbal and physical assaults, all because they have to wear masks. ABC Action News reporter J.J. Burton here with the story. All right, check this out. It's a new medical-grade 3D printer, and it creates lifelike anatomy to help train medical staff. This is all happening at Johns Hopkins All Children's Hospital in St. Petersburg, and it's all part of the hospital's Center for Simulation and Education. They say that this printer creates body parts that are so precise, detailed, realistic that they feel and respond like the real thing. How about that? Well, take a look at this rendering of Wawa's newest concept here. They're now testing out drive-through only stores. The convenience store chain plans to open its first drive-through store in December after a test run in the Northeast. Wawa says this could expand here to Florida.
With baseball, basketball, and hockey finally back underway, we can say sports are a thing again. And so are the associated memorabilia people buy. But this isn't about searching for the newest jersey of your favorite player. It's something much smaller. We take a look at how sports cards have made a comeback in the most expensive of ways.
All right, checking live outside there. Mainsail Beach in, looking good. Meteorologist Shay Ryan tracking any potential rain. I know we've got it in other parts of the state, but not here.
No, not at Mainsail Beach Inn on Anna Maria Island. In fact, much of our coastline is nice and dry right now, so not expecting any rainfall out there at the moment. And I think most of the area of beaches are going to make it through sunset nice and dry. So let's go ahead and take a look at the radar right now, and you can see where the rain has been developing. Most of it has been well east of I-75, although we had a little bit across Hillsborough County between 275 and I-75, and you can see a little green still showing up around Thonotosassa. As we take a wider look out, you can see more rain developing in the eastern parts of Pasco County, and that'll be moving across Sumter. Again, most of this is moving from the southwest to the northeast. And Highlands County right now is really the county that's inundated with heavy rain and thunderstorms. Now, as we continue through the next few hours, we'll continue to see more showers and storms develop east of I-75 primarily, and that allows the coastline and the I-75 corridor to continue on the hot and steamy side, feeling close to 100 degrees across many spots. But once we get to midnight, that rain will taper off, and overnight will be dry until daybreak tomorrow, and that's when that onshore flow will set up again, giving us chances for rain moving inland throughout the day. We'll still have enough dry hours to be hot and steamy through the day. And take a look here, much of the area is feeling like we're in the upper 90s to low 100s, and tomorrow will be much like that. I think slightly higher coverage of rain tomorrow, and then into Thursday and Friday, same deal with the coverage coming down into the weekend, but still a very summer-like pattern that you'll recognize each day. Dan?
Checking the news feed, Southwest Airlines is dialing back its cleaning protocols. A memo shows cleaning in between flights will now only focus on certain areas like bathrooms and tray tables. The airline is getting back to standard turnaround times. And home caregivers in France are getting a bonus. President Macron says those that have helped the elderly and people with disabilities during COVID can expect up to nearly $2,000 by the end of the year. The country has also planned a bonus for staff in hospitals and nursing homes hit hard by the virus. More job loss in the travel industry. The company that owns Booking.com says it will lay off up to 25% of its workforce around the world. Sales of guns commonly bought for self-defense are up. Chloe Nordquist found some experts say one specific emotion people are feeling is fueling the trend.
The Department of Health in Sarasota County is now hosting 2 drive-through testing sites this weekend. The first is set up for tomorrow from 8 to noon at Laurel Park in Nokomis. The second is going to be Thursday from 8 to noon on Springhaven Drive near Heron Creek Middle School in Northport. You have to have symptoms or work in healthcare, and you do need to make an appointment. We've got the number for that posted right now to our website, abcactionnews.com. Students and faculty at a West Chase school are going back to quite the surprise this year. Andres Blanco is the custodian at Farnell Middle School, and he's also a musical genius, it turns out. Returning staff found him playing the piano and discovered that he taught himself several different instruments over the years, and he likes to practice on campus. Listen.
You'll have people who just come to the cafeteria just to listen to it for a little while. Everything that's going on in the world today, to be able to listen to something like this is just a real treat.
Andres says that his one big wish would be to play with the students. School leaders say that they're going to try to make that happen sometime this year. How cool is that? Thanks for watching us here on ABC Action News at 4. All the latest headlines and the breaking news coming your way next as ABC Action News at 5 starts right now.
Live from Tampa Bay streaming news leader, this is ABC Action News, taking action for you.
Right now at 5, we're tracking new developments about a huge and deadly explosion that rocked Beirut just hours ago. We have the updates coming in tonight. And a scary ride for people on a local bus. The accident that ended with shards of glass hitting the driver, and the big question tonight as passengers describe what they saw and heard. Plus, with
weeks until some local students head back to class. The message from teachers and what they're continuing to push for.
But first, to developing news in Largo, a PSTA bus hits an officer who was just trying to get away from an aggressive dog. Now that officer is in the hospital, but is expected to survive. Police say it happened just after 2 o'clock this afternoon. We're told the officer was responding to a call near the intersection of 134th Avenue and 121st Street North.
Police say a large dog ran from a home toward the officer. While trying to get some distance from the dog, the officer stepped into the road, and that's when the bus hit the officer. Now here at 5, Pasco County teachers rallied this morning to move learning from the classroom to online at the start of next semester. Good evening, everyone. I'm Jamison Dueller, anchoring from home tonight.
And I'm Wendy Ryan. Thank you for joining us. And with just weeks to go, ABC Action News reporter Mary O'Connell shares why some teachers are afraid to go back to the classroom during this pandemic.